Welcome back, dear viewers, and welcome back, dear listeners. For anyone who cares, I'm Mr. Green, the lovely person who owns this studio you're walking into. Well, I don't want to stretch this intro out for too long. Episode 11, Bright Futures. Enjoy and like and subscribe. Settle down, please. I have important news. Seems all of you are present. I don't want to take attendance. So, I'm sure you're all wondering why I have you all here. Well, it's simple, really. You're all rather new. So I need to teach you the semantics of this lovely institution we have. Today's lesson will go over the many classes of entities we have, and I'll read a file. Familiarize you with the main setup that we have with everything else around these anomalous entities. But I do have to warn you all ahead of time. If you dislike the topics of death, child murder, and possible kidnapping, I request you leave once I reach the events and tests portion of today's file. Now, without further ado, let's begin. Alright. When you or a group of people may encounter an entity, or perhaps find someone who has, you should know how to properly identify these beings. The following presentation will hopefully provide a clear view of how you can do it and why. First, we shall begin with what I suppose is the best thing to know about these entities is the containment classes. Let's begin. Minimal. The entities tend to have next to none restrictions of containment. They seem awfully easy to contain and have a hard time escaping even the simplest cell. Restricted. These entities tend to have a temper and try to escape often. While not impossible to contain, they sure try their absolute hardest to break free. Apex. These entities constantly try to escape and prove to be very difficult to contain properly, needing multiple security measures in place, and even then it can all still possibly fail. Exempt. These entities tend to be either one of two things. Either we don't have a proper way to contain them, so we keep them under surveillance and let them roam, or two, it's best we leave them in the open. Some simply can't be contained in one spot and they get fed up and start getting rabid and restless, risking their own health. Zenith. These entities are possibly the hardest to contain. Literally impossible. No matter what you try or do, they will always escape, like breath out of your lungs. Most of the time, these entities are either impossibly large or can phase past walls, or they are simply forces of nature like a storm of pure energy. Alright, for now that concludes the lesson in containment classes. Now, I shall read a file for you all to assign you a task at the end of the class. Please take a 5-minute recess while I prepare for end of today's lecture. It shouldn't be too much time. Alright. Great. I've prepared the file and, well, I don't think I should say it. Without further ado, let's begin. Here you go. Observe. The Lighthouse. Designation D-0890. Containment class Apex. Secondary containment class Spirit. Disruption class Obvious. Danger level Danger. Physical description. a nearly 700-meter tall tower lighthouse. In the literal term of the lighthouse, it is made completely of pure light, bright white light, with dark spots, presumably parts of the tower such as stairs or beings. Ability description. It can produce light projections. Its light can lure people in if it shines on them, and it has so far shown the capability to project a massive crowd of people as an illusion. These children of light, as the locals refer to them, could possibly interact with the physical plane, unlike where light cannot physically interact with hard objects, being that its mass is far, far too light and atoms so thinly spread. We presume that this tower is some sort of beacon that draws in children's souls before passing, giving them a chance of a second on life, but not as a zombie, as spirits, hence the secondary containment class. It burns those who touch its body, and one of the agents said this after the recon mission. So have you ever touched a light bulb after it was on for a long time? It was like that, but much worse, and burnt me badly. The said agent had to get medical treatment on their hand due to harsh third-degree burns. Luckily they saved their hand. Other than that, heat emission is a possible ability. We need more testing to confirm it. Next part. Additional notes. It is located near the Atlantis site, hanging over a sharp cliff illuminating a vast part of the sea. Local fishermen and boatmen see it as a good omen when it shines light at them. They see it as a ray of hope, leading them to the shore and home, if only they knew the truth. Alas, we cannot tell them. Anyone who has experienced it or talked about it has been administered with a, let's say, virus that wipes their memory. A compound created by our researchers and scientists. We cannot let them talk about it. They already talk far too much about it, and they talk too freely about it. It's a risk. Now, last chance for anyone who is afraid of the subjects that I mentioned before at the beginning of today's lecture. Alright. Tests, special events. The tests so far have been performed through interviews with the children of light. The talkative ones, at least, because over some interviews with the more temperamental and anxious, their mentality doesn't seem to change. They are always going to be children. They don't learn and grow up. They only know what the lighthouse tells them. Indoctrinate more children to join the House of Light. As one Grigori, Child of Light, claimed. An important event that we should write down and know about is the light bulb mission, as my assistant wants to call it. Agents were dispersed into the location to aid in the walling off of the lighthouse. They got curious at night and decided to go visit the construction site. They found that the lighthouse, while still shining bright, was more dim, all the energy focused at the top, lighting up the sea. One of the agents decided to go into the lighthouse. Their body camera couldn't catch any of the video of what had experienced, but the audio was recovered. The bullet points, while we restore the audio, are as follows. Agent B enters. Agent B finds a flight of stairs. Agent B begins ascending the stairs. Agent B begins hearing voices of children. Agent B stops on the stairs and begins speaking about the children to his comrades at the bottom of the lighthouse. Agent B begins to hear the children laugh. Agent B continues his ascension anxiously. Agent B reaches the nearmost top floor where he claims it was far too bright and hot to walk further. Agent B suddenly falls down the stairs, pushed by something, assumed to be the children. Agent B enters a comatose state after snapping a vital part of their neck. Agent B has not wakened until his comrades ascend the stairs and retrieve him. Agent B is sent to a medical facility. Agent B is pronounced brain dead 30 minutes after surgery to save his life. Agent B will not be working with DARC again, unfortunately. Apologies for the somber end to today's file, but as soon as I get more information about this subject that is good, I will inform you all in next week's lecture. Lesson ends for today. Thank you all for listening. One last thing before dismissal. There is an addendum to this file. If so desired, I will go over it in our next session. As for your homework, theorize over ways of keeping these types of being in containment, specifically apex entities, such as spirits, intangible entities, creatures that can break through concrete with their fists, or can eat steel, or have acidic blood, or simply are just hard to contain. Imagine a rhino in a cardboard box, if that helps you. Alright. Any questions? Thank you all for being so eager. Alright. Thank you all. Dismissed. You may leave. Thank you all for listening. Have a nice rest of your day or night. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed this. Helps me a lot, too. Until next time, dear viewers, thank you for listening and visiting the studio. Next week, I will be bringing on some more guests, so prepare, because I think it's going to be really fun, you know? Every episode so far has been developed a bit better than the last, and I hope to keep it going that way. Finding a new editing software is kind of hard, but it also is effective. Well, I've kept this outro on for long enough, trying to buy some more time to make this episode longer. I won't take any more of your time. If you haven't already, like and subscribe if you enjoy my content, or if you want to see more of my animatic content that I will be posting a bit more regularly on my shorts, or just long form videos if I ever decide to make a music video, or just some OC lore. If you have any questions about today's episode, please put them in the comments. I will answer them if I can without spoilers. So, without further ado, I say it a lot, you know? Anyway, ADHD aside, without further ado, thank you for listening, truly thank you, and I will see you next time. Have fun.